good. Now, how many people here would love to become better presenters, better speakers by the time we finish our session here today? Let me see you guys. Yes, anybody? Okay, awesome, awesome. And how many people here understand that communication works for those that work hard at it? Let me hear say aye.
Aye.
All right, very good. Now, I can promise you guys that you will become better presenters by the time we finish our session today if we do one thing together. So everybody go like this. If we fully engage. What's the word?
Engage.
Yeah, that's 2 words. Keeping you on your toes. Fully engage. All right, so I'm excited about what we're going to learn today, guys. Today I'm going to actually show you guys how to craft an intro to your presentation. I'm also going to give you guys a chance. We're going to call this lights, camera, action. I'm going to give you a chance to come up here, practice the intro, because practice makes what?
Perfect.
Perfect, that's right, thank you. And then also, what we're going to do afterwards is we're going to get a chance to review our practice on this big silver screen right here. So everybody say one time, feedback is the breakfast of champions.
Feedback is the breakfast of champions.
The reason is, you'd be surprised how quickly 2 hours passes when you give people an opportunity to come up, to practice, to watch their video. I mean, 2 hours goes by really, really quick. So this is not your traditional seminar. I'm dressed like this for a reason because I really want to connect with you guys. And you know, even though I'm a full-time speaker and all that stuff, I don't want it to be in any kind of boundary. So this is how I normally dress on Saturday morning. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to roll out of bed, come out to class, and have fun with my team. Is that cool? Good or good? Yeah?
Good.
One supporter in the back. Love that. All right, so first of all, I want to congratulate you guys for being here. You know, there's a saying and it goes something like this. It says that 85% of success is just one thing. It's just, what do you guys think it is?
Doing.
Just doing, yes.
Effort.
Effort, yes.
Networking.
Maybe. So 85% of success is just showing up, okay? So I want you guys to do me a big favor. I want you to reach out with both hands. Go ahead and do that now. Reach out with both hands. Turn to your neighbor, give him a pat on the back and say, congratulations for being here today. Yes. Very good. So let's kind of get started here. Now, I've entitled this presentation, My Live Speaking Funnel That's Currently Making Me a Six-Figure Income Without Any Kind of Traveling, because I hate getting on planes, and a lot of my industry friends in the speaking industry, they travel a lot, and I don't like doing that. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to show you guys this presentation, and at the same time, I want to give you a double bang for your buck so that you can get good at public speaking in the next 2 hours. But also, some of you guys would love to monetize your speaking. So everybody go like this. Say, Ariel, show me the money.
Ariel, show me the money.
That's right. Okay, very good. So let's kind of get started here today. So first of all, disclaimer. I don't guarantee you're going to make 6 figures without traveling, as a consultant, as a trainer. Raise your hand, by the way, if you are a speaker or a trainer or a consultant right now. Okay, 2. All right. Raise your hand if you'd like to be a speaker, a consultant, or a trainer at some point in the future.
All of the above.
Awesome. Raise your hand if you knew that 85% of jobs that pay over $200,000 per year require regular public speaking. Okay, a couple people knew that. Yes. All right, so I guarantee you that if you do nothing, nothing's gonna change for you. That's just the law of life, right? Of course, we don't make financial guarantees, so I gotta tell you guys this. But with that said, let's kind of get started here. My live speaking funnel that's currently making me a 6-figure income without any kind of traveling. I can do this all locally. What's even better is that I can help you guys duplicate a lot of the stuff that we're doing here today. And I'm willing to bet you've never seen any of this because I've personally invented a lot of this stuff. myself. So let's kind of get started. So who is this for? This is for you if right now you have a business. Again, raise your hand if you're a business owner, okay? This is also for you if maybe right now you're on the precipice. You're kind of thinking, you know what? I would love to start a business, and here's the thing. I'm a little scared, and I'd rather do it the right way the first time. The what?
Right way the first time.
Thank you. All right, very good. So, what is a live speaking funnel, and do I need one for my company? Now, let's kind of think about it, right? If right now you were to start a business, let's kind of think about the methods that are used out there today. So, you got things like email marketing, right? You got things like video marketing. What do we do? Like network events. Somebody said networking is the number one reason, VJ. Facebook ads, right? Raise your hand if you've ever run a Facebook ad before. Okay, very cool. Social media posts, etc., etc. We got, podcasts. Anybody been on a podcast before? Cool, awesome, good. And then blogging. Who here has a WordPress blog that they're doing? Okay, cool. So now here's the thing. Let's be honest, guys. A lot of times these methods right here, they bring you a lot more fans, shares, post like. And the thing is, to really make a lot of this stuff effective, you have to have a big list or a lot of viewers or a lot of fans. Would you guys agree?
Yes.
Okay. So here's the thing. A live speaking funnel is totally different. So with a lot of these methods right here, it's very, very difficult to produce. Everybody say it right there in green. A predictable and stable. What? High income. Okay. It's very hard to produce that. It can be quite risky. If you ever, dumped quite a bit of your marketing collateral into Facebook ads and it didn't turn out the way you thought it was going to turn out, then maybe you lost a little bit of money in that. So it can be quite risky. And what a live speaking funnel does, guys, is it really helps to put you in touch with a lot more high quality leads. Okay? Not just, looky-loos, but high quality people that are interested in your topic, right? Which eventually, what does it bring you more of? Everybody say it one time. It gives you more clients. Oh, this is a very smart audience here this morning. Advanced group. Turn to your neighbor, give them a high five. Say, I'm in the right room this morning. Beautiful. Okay, so it gives you also that predictable and stable high income, right? Without the what? Without the risk, right? Because again, it's free marketing, but it's highly targeted. And at the same time, you're getting a double bang for your buck because you're becoming a great public speaker while you're implementing a live speaking funnel. So instead of you signing up for a course to learn public speaking, who here would actually love to get paid while they're learning their platform skills? Say, that's me, Ariel. Yes?
Yes.
Very good, very good. So let's kind of take a look here. A live speaking funnel works for coaches, consultants, entrepreneurs, people that are authors. Raise your hand if you have a book inside you right now. Okay? Raise your hand if you're committed in the next 6 months that book's going to be published. You're going to have a paperback, you're going to have an ebook, a Kindle version, an Amazon, all that stuff. Within the next 6 months, you're dedicated to that goal. Anybody? Okay, I see one person in the back. I see two right here. Okay, very good. A live speaking funnel works for motivational speakers, direct sales professionals, online marketers, so on. Managers. Anybody's a manager right now in the corporate space? Anybody? One. Perfect. Corporate executives. Yeah, I would say so. I would say so. So, kind of think about it like this, guys. Who is the number one salesperson for your business?
You are.
You are, okay? Now, would it be valuable if you can clone 100 yous broadcasting your message and sitting down with your ideal prospect, answering their questions, demonstrating your products and solutions, maybe in a 90-minute or a 2-hour type of a consultation? Would that be valuable if you had 100 of yous doing that for you? Now, I didn't say pass out brochures, pass out business card, send them to get your ebook. I said sit down, answer questions, objections, consultation, right? And there's a lot of stuff that comes up. when you're looking at potentially investing in a product. Would you agree?
Yes.
Right? So would it be valuable, I'm gonna ask one more time, if you had 100 soldiers that are willing to do that, and here's the kicker, here's the punchline, without paying a dime in payroll. Like, these are free sales executives, there's 100 of you. So who thinks that would be valuable?
Yes.
Guys, that would be immensely valuable. One of the reasons why I've been able to scale my company to the 6-figure mark, and literally, guys, I mostly work on Saturdays, if I'm to truly be honest, and I don't do any traveling, is because I got 100 aerials representing Atlanta Public Speaking and walking people through the sales process online through all automated webinars. We're gonna talk a little bit about that. So my goal for today is to show you guys that the only way to really truly exponentially grow your revenue without the risk, like we talked about earlier, and to grow your public speaking skills at the same time is through a live speaking funnel. We've coined that term. If Donald Trump can coin, you're fired, I can have this one. So live speaking funnel, that's something that I've invented. And then also the fastest way to implement that is through a resource that I call our 90-day boot camp. It's been responsible now for changing people's lives all across Atlanta over the last 5 years. But more importantly than the intangible part is the actual tangible. This resource has been responsible for helping people to make some crazy money. Now again, I'm not promising nothing. You got to do the work yourself, right? You got to show up to class. All I can tell you is the truth. People have made real crazy money with our 90-day boot camp. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to teach you guys. We're going to practice. We're going to kind of review that practice. And then for those of you that want to take your training further, I promise to create an opportunity at the end where you guys can do that. Does that sound fair with everybody? Today's objectives is to, number one, craft the intro of a seminar or a webinar. They kind of work for both. I'm also going to show you guys, of course, how to get into the lights, camera, and the action, because Tony Robbins said it, years and years ago. He said that feedback is the breakfast of champions, and we're going to definitely talk about how to actually see yourself as your self-ideal, right? Like Maxwell Maltz and cybernetics talks about having like that visual of you, who you're meant to be, your greatest you, right? Who knows what I'm talking about, right? So the only way to really do that, everybody say it one time, say feedback is the breakfast of champions.
Feedback is the breakfast of champions.
Very good, very good. So before we get started though, would it be okay if I just tell you guys a little bit about who I am so you can get a better understanding of, hey, why should we listen to this guy in the first place? Would that be okay with everybody?
Sure.
All right, cool. So my name is Ariel Ginga. I'm originally from Romania. I've been in America for, I guess, about 30 years now. So at this point, I'm Romerican. That's me and my dad over there, and some of my family members. We've added more family members since we came here. And what I gotta tell you guys is, back in 1983, Romania was a communist country. It wasn't like the movie Coming to America. Hey, let's just go to America. No, it wasn't like that. It was very, very hard. Kind of think of it like North Korea right now. We had one channel, and it was Nicolae Ceausescu's channel, the dictator back then. And so my dad, he underwent a 35-day hunger strike in order for us to escape the communist regime and come to America, right? For 35 days, he didn't eat nothing at all. And so I moved here in 1983, and the first thing that I saw on American TV was a game between the Atlanta Hawks and the Chicago Bulls, and I got to see Michael Jordan as a rookie. And I've never seen basketball before. And again, in a communist country, they don't have options, right? So I instantly fall in love with basketball. They used to call me Tony Kukoc in high school. Now, I gotta tell you guys, this is the real truth. I've actually opened up my office right here on Steve Reynolds because I used to go to Meadow Creek High School back in the days. The Mustangs are right here on Steve Reynolds as well. You guys may not know, but Meadow Creek is like two yards away from this office. So in high school, I tried out for the varsity basketball team 3 years in a row, and I got cut from the basketball team 3 years in a row. Now, this introverted lifestyle caught up to me one day because it was all basketball, 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 until I have to do a presentation in geography class. And I remember I had this like really awesome poster on the country of Colombia. And I was like, yeah, I think I can do this. I'm ready. I practiced it about a dozen times. And Ariel on Colombia, he gets up, and who's ever felt that before? And you're like, what the hell is happening to me right now? So I freaked out. I couldn't say a word. Complete deer headlight moment. And I sat back down in the trailer right here in Meadow Creek High School, and without saying a word. And that impacted me a lot, guys. I made a decision right then and there. I said, today I'm going to do something about this. This is not normal. So I wound up going to the public library, and at that public library, I got introduced to my first mentor. Who's ever heard of Tony Robbins before? Yeah, I love Tony Robbins, and I take all these tapes and books, and basically I listened to it until like 2 a.m., and it was just like new stuff that I've never heard before at the age of 17. And the interesting thing is that Tony Robbins invited us to go to this like 3-day event in Atlanta, and I went. And at the end of this 3-day event, Tony made an invitation to join a mastermind program. It was a $10,000 program. I still remember to this day. And I sat there in the audience, kind of like where you're sitting. It was a bigger audience, but it was like very similar to this. And my heart was tugging at me. It was telling me like, man, you should do this. You should do this. This program is for you. Who's ever felt that before? Like, I think this is everything that speaker is telling me. It's like they're speaking to me. I need to be there. Anybody ever felt that before? Right? And you just know it's for you, right? And so even though I knew I should do it, I didn't do it. Right? I chickened out, and instead I bought a lot of books and tapes, and I went to the back table at this event over there. It was really cool. And I got more tapes, more books, right? As if the library didn't give me enough Tony Robbins products. Then I decided to buy more stuff. And the reason I tell you guys this is that it was totally the wrong decision in my life. I spent the next 10 years of my life in the wrong profession. I was a leasing consultant for property management. This is the pool, this is our clubhouse. Today we're waiving our application fee if you lease with us. And I hated every single minute of it. Who can relate where you have a job right now where it's not your passion? Thank you so much, thank you so much. Anybody have that right now where you have a job and it's just, you just feel like I'm meant for more than just this? Anybody? Raise your hand real high so I can see it.
Not right now, but I definitely came out of that.
Cool. There you go. Good.
So I picked up my life and came to Atlanta.
I'm always anytime somebody makes a breakthrough, that's for me big. A big round of applause, because I really believe that, guys. Life is short, and you should be happy in your vocation. This is actually one of the most important things in life. Now, I bring this up because the most important lesson that you're going to learn today is that more information will not change your circumstances. Everybody say that one time. More information will not change your circumstances. It won't, guys. All the information's already out there. It's on YouTube, it's in the library, it's everywhere, right? The info's out there, right? You need immersion, you need strategy, and you need accountability. What are the 3 words?
Immersion, strategy, and accountability.
Those are the 3 things. So basically, it was November of 2011, and I decided, you know what, after 10 years of being stuck in a job that I didn't like, one day I walked into my boss's office and I said, can I have a piece of paper? And literally, I wrote my 2-week notice on the spot. It was like one of those burn the bridges behind you type of moment. I wrote my 2-week notice and I quit my job right then and there. It was very impulsive. I'm not recommending that you do it like this, by the way. That's just what I do. All I can do is tell you my truth, document that, and then, hopefully you learn from my mistakes too. So basically, I started my speaking business finally in 2011, and without any kind of experience at all. And so I did everything the hard way, guys. I passed out flyers. I, bought more information, more online courses, right? As if, sometimes, it's so strange how we do this, right? Like, we know something led us down the wrong path, like that was the wrong approach, but we're so like invested and so close to our problem that we literally repeat the same mistake. How many people know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? So I bought more information, more online courses, right? Called on companies. I met a lot of people, went to network events, total social media posts. You guys can see it on the board. I went to seminars. I emailed people. I did all this stuff that I thought, I got to make money now. I don't have the leasing, job as a security anymore. So nothing was working for a year. All I did was struggle, and I almost threw in the towel. How many people have read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill?
Yes.
Very good, very good. He talks about 3 feet from gold. 3 feet from gold. You're this close, and you're almost to the goal, and then most people throw in the towel at that point, and that was me. But thankfully, November of 2012, so a whole year goes by, and I was coming home from a Thanksgiving gathering, and I had to get honest with myself. I made 0 income for 12 months as a speaker, right? And it was a drastic change. But I was living my life purpose, just didn't make any money with it. I realized I was running out of time, and I started searching frantically on the internet, and I came across this seminar that was taking place next weekend. It was happening in Atlanta. It was in 2012, and I signed up for it. And basically, at that seminar, I met my second mentor. Now, it was a little bit different than the Tony Robbins experience, because I've never heard of her before. She wasn't like someone that was a big name, but what was really interesting was that she was like a deja vu. She also invited us to invest into a mastermind program. And guess what? At the age of 17, I had more money to actually invest in the Tony Robbins program, because I was doing door-to-door sales, selling candy door-to-door. So, and then here I am, much later in my life, and I definitely did not have the money in 2012 to invest in a mastermind program. But remember, 10 years before, I was presented with that opportunity, and even though my heart was telling me yes, I actually didn't do it. I chickened out. So it was one of those like, okay, there's 2 ways to get wisdom: mistakes or mentors. My heart was telling me, you need to do this, even though you can't, because definitely you don't have the money. I knew I needed her program. I had to do something. I could always go back to leasing apartments. So I was like, man, I remember years ago Tony Robbins saying, if you can't, you must. Right? Everybody say that one time. Say, if I can't, I must.
If I can, I must.
If I can't, I must, right? And also Tony Robbins said, I know you can't, but if you could, how would you? Right? So that's a very important question, because there's a lot of things that you can't do right now because you're telling yourself you can't do it. But if you could, let's just fantasize for a second. If you could, how would you? Well, if I could, if I'm truly be honest, the only way I could do it, I got no money in 2012. I've been unemployed for a whole year, trying to start the speaking business. Only way I could do it is if I go into my 401k and maybe put some of the rest of it on a Chase program. I'm gonna Chase like a credit card, right? So again, I'm just telling you my truth. I'm not saying anything that I did you should do. I'm just telling you that that was the only way I could do it if I was to do it. So my hands were shaking. I was like, I'm looking back at the lesser of the 2 evils. Like, do I go back to leasing apartments, or do I just take this risk here into this mastermind program? And guess what? I took a plunge, guys, and the first time was a mistake. I got that wisdom, right, from the mistake. The second time, I got that wisdom from a mentor. So everybody say one time, there's 2 ways to get wisdom. Say mistakes or mentors.
Mistakes or mentors.
Mistakes or mentors. That's the only 2 ways to get wisdom, right? Now, I signed up for this mastermind program to a lady that I've never heard of before, and I've never met her before, and I literally signed up right then and there at the event. I took a shot, because I said, you know what, if this doesn't work, I'm going back to leasing apartments, and I'm going to make peace with myself, and that's going to be my career, right? So, thank God, it actually did work. Big time, actually. My whole business changed after that. A lot of people in Atlanta started calling me the the public speaking doctor. Nowadays, I got people from IBM, from Georgia Tech, from all kinds of companies that I'm working with. And I'm not saying this to brag, guys, but what I do want to kind of paint a picture for you is that, you know, you're listening to someone that is really out there doing it. There's nothing in theory. I don't have a 9 to 5 and then this thing that I do on Saturdays, because I know some speakers that do that. That's not me. I'm literally a full-time speaker, full-time trainer, full-time coach, and also successful at it. So just want to kind of earn your trust a little bit here. So let me say, Ariel, that's great for you. You know, I'm happy you made it. Genuinely, I'm happy. But what does that do for me? You know, that doesn't mean nothing for me. I want to get the value out of this event. So my obsession, here's where it gets good for you, right? It's about to get really good for you. My obsession is to make you better than me in terms of becoming a better speaker, and also in terms of, you know, hopefully you can make more money than me. Like, I'm really, really big on the monetization part. That's a lot of speaking programs, they don't really teach you this part, and I'm willing to go deep, to sit down, to customize. We'll put the laptops together, we'll set up our pages so that you can start, you know, making money with this thing, right? And one of the reasons I can do that is because I don't have kids yet, I have time, I don't have no other obligations, there's no other corporate obligations. So I'm like the Phil Jackson of the speaking industry, and I really have an eye for getting the best talent out of you. And you're about to see it in just a second. I'm going to get you guys up here for those that want to participate, and it's going to be awesome. And you're going to see it with your own eyes, and you'll become a believer then. So I did it all with a live speaking funnel. That's how I did it. So here's the thing. There's a couple things that I want to show you guys today. We're not going to get too deep into the weeds because, again, we want to have the practice time to really implement a lot of the stuff that, you know, we're going to talk about. But the first thing I do want to show you is how to craft the intro of your talk for a seminar or for a webinar. So raise your hand if you would love to learn that right now. Okay, very good. So I want you to go ahead and take out a piece of paper if you have one. Very good. Very good, very good. And here's what we're going to do. The first thing, we're going to create a mind map for this intro. A mind map, okay? Now, there's 3 T's to creating an effective presentation. How many are there?
3.
3 T's, right? The first one is the title. The second one is the T-bar. And the third T is putting it all
Together.
One more time, putting it all
Together.
Very good. We got an advanced group here. I'm actually worried about you guys. You guys are going to come up here, and again, my obsession is to make you better than me. Some of you guys are up for the challenge this morning. Ariel, I'm going to blow you out the water here in a second. That's what I like. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. The first thing that we want to do is we want to create a title for our seminar or our webinar. Okay? I'm going to give you some clues. From problem to solution. Because I'm Atlanta Public Speaking, from stage fright to spotlight. From rags to... I can't hear you. Yeah. Everybody say, show me the money. Right?
Show me the money.
Yes, yes, yes. It's important to get good as a public speaker, but it's also important to love your job. And some of you guys would love to do, you know, just this little thing, what I'm doing here. Again, we're doing pretty good with it. And it's not just what you're seeing. Again, there's a lot of automated webinars involved in this. But, okay, so I think you get the idea. From problem to solution. So go ahead and write down the name of your seminar or your webinar using this formula. If I worked with the organization coach, yes, she's a full-time organization coach. You never thought somebody would pay someone full-time money just to organize their corporate offices. Well, that's a true story. And her thing was from chaos to clarity. Okay, write it down. Don't think about it twice. We're going to move on to the second little clue or method for creating a title. Some of you guys don't like that first one. I'm gonna give you another one. I always like to give people options and then let them choose. The second one is how to ... value that you provide. Fill it in. So how to ... For me, it would be monetize your speaking. How to monetize your speaking. That's a great title for me. For you, it would be how to, I don't know, own a debt-free home in the next 12 months if you're in the real estate market. So think about how to ... value proposition. Okay, the third one I'm going to give you, and this is the final one on the first T, is mystique. What's it called?
Mystique.
Mystique, right? So put a little mystery in your title of your webinar or your seminar. What do I mean? My 5-step system to packaging your passion in the next 90 days. My 3-step formula for getting a 6-pack in the next 4 months, if you're like a personal fitness trainer, right? My 7-step process in this business. We love numbers like 3-step, 5-step, 7-step. Now, let's see who remembers what are the 3 T's of creating an effective webinar or an effective seminar. The 3 T's, the first one is the title, the second one is the T-bar, and the third one is putting it all together. Very good. Turn to your neighbor, give him a high five, say, I'm still in this thing.
I'm still in this thing.
That's right. We're in the 3rd round right now. We're still in it. In fact, we're winning. So right now what we want to do is we're in the T-bar, which is the second T, and I want you to go ahead and flip your paper over, and I want you to draw a giant T-bar across the page. Okay? Go ahead and just draw it out. On the left side, I want you to write tables equals points. On the right side, I want you to write legs equals evidence. Go ahead and do that now. I will help you if you need it. By all means, I invited you to ask questions as we're going along. It's very much like a Starbucks environment, so if you do have questions, by all means, go ahead and ask. But go ahead and just follow what you're seeing on the board. So far, it seems pretty easy. Tables equals points, legs equals evidence. Just kind of do a little T-bar just like that. If you have questions, I'm here to help. Now, here's what we're going to do. On the left side right here, the tables equals points, what we're going to do is we're going to brainstorm all the potential points that we could include in this seminar or webinar. Potential points, nucleus, main idea points, right? So for example, if I'm going to do a talk called How to Monetize Your Speaking, then I may do something like why public speaking is important to you. Why is this the #1 skill you should learn? I may say how to create content without using a script, right? I may say how to deliver like a pro. I may say how to make an offer from a stage without being pushy, without being salesy, right? Am I losing anybody this morning? No. Okay, you guys are still with me. We're brainstorming potential points that we could make in our presentation. We may not use any of those, but we're just brainstorming right now. What we want to do, we're going to go pretty fast here this morning. Trust your first instinct, not your second instinct. So we're going to go pretty fast. What I want you to do is I want you to brainstorm, and then I want you to circle the top 3 that you're going to use. The power of 3. Circle the top 3. So go ahead and your pens should be lightning right now. Racing across your paper. What are the points I could make? I know my title. I could talk about this. I could do. Okay, so let me give you some ideas. The why. Why? You have a why too. I have a why. Why public speaking? If you're an internet marketer, why social media marketing or whatever it may be. You may say the pros and cons. Here are all the benefits you'll get by implementing our solutions. Here's the consequences of maybe trying to do it on your own. Pros and cons. The common myths. Well, here's what public speaking training is not at Atlanta Public Speaking, so the myths. So you can use that, you can borrow. Again, you may not use those, but just brainstorm right now. How? I know everybody here has how-to tips, how-to steps, stuff that only you know. that you got that knowledge from industry, a knowledge of just getting deep into your topic and being a practitioner of what you do. That's how you got that knowledge. And put your hand on your heart, say, I promise
I promise
to become a level 10 speaker.
to become a level 10 speaker.
There you go. There you go. Because I'll tell you guys, there's no better feeling than being able to speak from the heart, except maybe skydiving or singing. I can't teach you guys that, but it's a pretty exhilarating rush when you're up here and you're really connecting with the audience. If you're just giving a boring presentation, that doesn't feel too good. But when you're connecting with the audience, that is a good feeling. So who is really, really serious about becoming a level 10 speaker in the next 3 to 4 months? Anybody? That's, okay, cool. I'm glad that you got ignited and you have a passion for it. Of course, we're going to talk a little more about how to do that effortlessly. Okay, we circled the 1, 2, 3. Here's the things I'm going to talk about. First, I'm going to cover this. Then I'm going to cover that. Then, finally, we're going to finish up with this. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to write down all the potential legs that support the tables. These are the examples, the analogies, the stories, the case studies, the quotes, the visuals, the different things that you could use to support these main tables, right? Imagine the table has 4 legs. Well, that's what we call them, legs. Legs equals evidence. All the pieces of evidence are right there on the board. Expert opinion. Warren Buffett said, that's an expert opinion, right? Analogy. Imagine that it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Bam, you go into an analogy. It's kind of like, that's another, kind of like bridge. That's a way to segue into an analogy. You give a very difficult topic that's complex, and then you say, it's kind of like, imagine, turning off these lights, or you go into some kind of analogy. You'll see a personal story there, personal story. There I was, it was 2009. I found myself at a crossroads in my career. That's a personal story. You'll see observational story. Something that didn't happen to you, you observed, right? Last night I was watching Anderson Cooper, and he had a very interesting guest on the show, and they were talking about something that you saw on TV, in a book, right? Observational story. So far, is everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and move right along here. We're in the final T, which is, everybody say it, putting it all
Together.
All right, very good. Putting it all together. So here we go. What we're going to do, guys, is you don't have to copy all of this because we're just going to focus on the intro today, but we're going to create a visual mind map, and this is the secret right here. Honestly, guys, I don't need this PowerPoint. I'm doing this more for you. This I'm able to actually have a blueprint in my mind, because the way your mind works is that it has visual association to things. Think about it. When you came here today, Google Maps showed you a blue picture of I-85 North. It didn't say 85 North, N-O-R-T-H. But yet, that's what they teach you at the collegiate level. They teach you create an outline and put a Roman numeral 1, and then little thesis statements. And then underneath that, put an ABC. And they language you to death. And it's no wonder that almost all of my clients have taken some kind of public speaking class in college, yet they still don't consider themselves a level 10 speaker. So clearly there's a gap. What they're teaching in college is clearly not working quite as good as supposed to. Raise your hand if you've taken a public speaking class in college before. Okay? So there's proof right there. So, okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start off with this little visual mind map. And don't worry about all the other stuff that you see here. I'm going to keep it very, very simple. So just follow along. This is the part you really want to get very close to the board and see what I'm doing here. Because first thing I'm doing is I'm drawing a circle. And this is my opening circle. And all I'm doing is I'm taking one of these legs from right over here. There's a bunch of legs here. I'm dragging it and I'm dropping it right here, plugging it and playing it right there, and I'm using one word, like Google Maps, picture, right? I'm using one word to identify my opener, because our brains don't need a lot of words to remember. They just need pictures, right? So I decided to start with a series of questions. So I'm going to go ahead and put question marks right here as my opening leg that I'm going to start my webinar or seminar. Okay, and feel free to ask questions if you get a little confused here. Okay, after that, I want you to go ahead and draw a little bubble just like this. And then in this bubble, I actually want you to fill in the word preview. That's not going to change. We don't need to customize that. That's always going to be preview. Just go ahead and draw it out. Just stay with me step by step. Again, stop me if I'm going too fast. I don't want to lose anybody because we're about to come up here. And I don't want you to say, well, you didn't do a good job of teaching us. Because I'm going to take you baby steps all the way to crafting our intro. So far, everybody with me, team?
Yes.
All right, say go us.
Go us.
I love it, right. Is it okay if we have fun on the job, guys?
Yes.
Oh, okay, all right. There's no wrong with that, right? So what we're going to do after we do the preview, I want you to go ahead and just draw. Don't worry about these other supporting legs, supporting the table, but I want you to draw, I want you to draw one circle. That there's a T, it stands for table. You may remember it way back over here. Look, you circled 3 tables. Here's where it gets interesting. You got to come up with one word to identify every single one of them. So, table, put one word over there. So if I'm going to teach about content, how to create content without using any kind of notes, that's going to be my first word, my first table. Then the next one is I'm going to teach you how to find the traffic in your city interested in your topic, your products or services. I'm just going to put traffic right there. Right? I see some people having fun on the job, which I'm all about, so that's good. And then let's say I teach you guys how to actually make an offer from the stage without being salesy or pushy. Then the final T for table, I would put the word offer there. Okay, am I losing anybody? So far, so good, right? And then, so that's the preview. The preview is nothing more but the menu. Just at a glance, here's the 3 things we're going to talk about. And then we move over to the background. We move over to the background. So it's like soccer. I'm from Romania. We love to play soccer. So the preview passes into the background. Cross-court pass or basketball, whatever analogy you want to make. Okay, the background. But before we do that, would it be okay if I just tell you guys a little bit about myself? You want to connect with the audience. Now, there's 2 things you want to put into the background. Number 1 is challenges. So put a C right over there to remind you. C. And then the other C stands for credibility. Okay? What are the 2 C's that should go under the background?
Challenges.
Say it one more time so we can hear you. Thank you. Everything is energy. Everything is what?
Energy.
Very good, very good. So, challenges. Now let me give you guys an example of how I may do some of this stuff. Would you guys like to see just a short little example of an intro? It's going to take about 30 seconds.
Yes.
We do need examples to really root it. Okay, so here's how I may do this. So let's just say it's a series of questions, and here's what I may do. I'm going to come up, and let's say I do this at a conference, because I speak at conferences, sometimes, 300-400 people. It's really, really fun. Sometimes I do small group workshops like this, so I can give you guys the practice time, and then sometimes I'm doing corporate training for different organizations. So let's just say I'm at a conference, and I'm about to start my seminar, or I'm about to start doing my webinar, right? I'm going to come up and I'm going to say, so how many people here would love to become better presenters by the time we finish our session here today? Let me see you guys. Very good. And how many people here understand that communication works for those that work hard at it? Let me hear you say aye.
Aye.
Very good, very good. Now, I can promise you guys that you will become better presenters by the time we finish our session here today if we do one thing together, if we fully engage. What's the word?
Engage.
Very good, very good. Now, I'm excited about what we're going to learn today. Today, we're going to find out how to actually create content for a talk without using any kind of notes. So everybody tear away the notes, make paper planes out of them, and toss them across the room. You don't need any notes anymore, index cards. You don't need any of that stuff. Today I'm also going to show you guys how to deliver like a pro. Like a what?
Referral.
Very good. And then I'm also going to show you guys how to actually, create an offer from the stage without being salesy or pushy, right? I just did my preview right there. But before we do that, I'm passing it to the background right now. Here comes my CC. But before we do that, would it be okay if I just tell you guys a little bit about myself so you can get a better understanding of, hey, why should you listen to me in the first place? Would that be okay with everybody?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So this is when you tell them your name. So my name is Ariel Ginga. I'm the founder of Atlanta Public Speaking. I started this organization, back in 2011. Now, it wasn't always, roses and butterflies. It was a very, very hard struggle. For 12 months, I didn't make any kind of income at all. And if I was to even go back further, right, I gotta tell you guys, I come from a communist country, so I'm kind of like making a super shortcut right now. Obviously, I'm making it like nuggeting the whole thing in. And then I move over to the credibility. Now, today we've had the good fortune of coaching professionals from IBM, from Georgia Tech, from AJC, from CDC, from whatever, right? And then you talk about credibility. Right, CC, right? Here's the thing. Now, some of you guys may say, well, Ariel, I haven't coached anybody from IBM, from Georgia Tech, or AJC. How do I give the credibility if I'm just starting out? Don't worry about it. You got to start somewhere, right? So here's how you do it. I've went to countless seminars on this topic. I've consulted many professionals on this topic because there's a good chance if you're in this room here today, you probably are the person that gives advice. Maybe you're not charging for it, you don't know how to package your passion yet, but you're probably consulting already. You may say things like, I've read dozens of books on this topic. I went to countless hours of seminars. That's credibility. And then think about also your career, your job career. Think about your Facebook timeline. In 2008, I was here. In 2018, I'm here. What did you do in the last 10 years? There's a lot of credibility in there. Awards, certificates, promotions, job titles, all of that falls into credibility. Are you guys with me so far?
Yes.
Okay, very good, very good. So what we're going to do now is we are actually going to go ahead and move into the interactive portion. I think you guys have heard enough, and now you're dying to come up here and actually try out some of this stuff. And all we're going to do, guys, I'm going to help you along the way, and we're going to definitely have a little cheat sheet here on the board. But now it's time for lights, camera, action. And here's what we're going to do. We're just literally going to practice the intro, which is the opening leg, then the preview, which is nothing more but stating the 3 tables. Today we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. But before we get into all that, would it be okay if I just tell you a little bit about me? And then that's where you say, so my name is da-da-da-da, and then you talk about your, what are they? Talk about your challenges and credibility. So we're going to practice that intro right here at the seminar. Now, here are the rules. When you come up here, if you already have a business, because we have, like, again, automated webinars, and we're filming this right now, here's the thing. You can actually plug your business. You can promote your business. So I'm making it real life, but at the same time, I'm giving you an opportunity to get in front of my audience, and which is, I got some people that are on TV that are on my list. I got people that are pretty big time, that are on my list. Thousands of people, actually. So it could be an opportunity for you where someone watches this video and they find out about your business as a result of this little exercise, and it's a demo exercise. So put your best, foot forward here and really go for it. Pretend like you're at an audition for a movie. You only got one shot to do this. Now I'm gonna be here helping you, right? I'm gonna coach you and stuff like that. But you only got one shot, so you gotta give it all you got here, because you never know who's watching right now and who could be that connection for your business. And again, I'll show you guys a little bit. I'm gonna give you some behind the scenes in just a second, show you guys my list and how I'm getting all the traffic. It's crazy. When I show you guys this, free traffic, but qualified traffic, you're gonna be blown away. I'm telling you, this part, that's the best part of the whole seminar, is how do I actually get the people in the room, and then how do I get them on my list, watching my webinars, and then more importantly, Mark Cuban said that in business, sales cure all problems. Everybody say that one time. In business, sales cure all problems. Everybody say that one time. In business,
Sales cure all problems.
Okay, very true.
Good morning. How are you
Morning.
guys all?
Great,
Okay, my
great.
name is Ashwani Kumar, and I'm here to present a little business opportunity for you, with you guys. A lot of time we enter into a door where you're not supposed to, but you still go ahead and find something interesting. And that's what happened to me this morning. I was sitting downstairs, and my office, which was supposed to be on 5th floor, the meeting was canceled. So I was sitting down there, and a beautiful lady, and she walked in, and I said, "Are you going to 5th floor on 540?" She said, "No." I said, "Okay, well, my meeting was canceled." So she said, "Okay, let's go upstairs. There is a seminar that you might learn something." I said, "Well, let's go." So I came here, and I'm learning pretty good stuff. But again, let's not change the topic. Let me share something with you guys which it might interest you. My background is engineering. I became industrial and production engineer, started a career with Exide batteries, making car batteries. But then I wasn't satisfied in my 9-to-5 job. I said, okay, there's something better I can do. Not always money, but there is different things in your life that you want to do. I wanted to be my own boss. I moved from Toronto, Canada to Georgia. And when I tell everybody, the first question, what made you move from Toronto to Georgia? I said, well, it's a good weather here. I don't have to shovel snow. Okay? So I moved here, bought a little gas station in a small town called Tubbleton. I don't know whether you guys know about it or not. It's a bit south of Columbus or Manchester, going towards Macon. So long story short, fast forward 5-6 years, I had 3 gas stations, and I jumped into a Piggly Wiggly grocery store. And here comes a biggest recession of the century. Lost every bit of it. Whatever I had earned in the last 20 years was gone. Poof. And I didn't want to do bankruptcy. End up doing Chapter 13, where I made a little payments step by step. Came out of that in 2015, and then moved to Douglasville. Bought another gas station here, slowly brought me up. But then again, my mind was telling me, this is not me. Why did I go to college all that years, and I'm just gonna be behind this little counter from day in, day out, 7 days a week, put my 3 children, beautiful children, handsome boy, through college, and saw them just sleeping. When I left in the morning, they were sleeping, and when I went back home, they were sleeping, because I put 14 to 16 hours a day. So I said, let me think what other thing I can do which is better. I can spend whatever time left with me, like God knows, but maybe 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Let me spend that traveling the world, teaching people, and maybe a lot of people are suffering the same way. We are living in the best country in the world, but still everybody is struggling, paycheck to paycheck, in debt. So I happened to talk to somebody, and they showed me a business. As soon as that contract was done, poof, he's back into the business again with this HGI. And I joined this company about 4.5 months ago, and changed my lifestyle completely. I still own the gas station in Douglasville, right? And I put a morning lady there and the evening guy there to work, and I'm doing this business.
Wow.
And it's beautiful, it is wonderful, and the opportunity is like sky is the limit.
Wow.
That's the only thing I can share with you guys.
Wow. That's
And
awesome.
any more questions, please feel free to talk to me. And thank you.
We're all here like a business family, like I said. So imagine that the stage is a triangle, right? On the front line of this triangle, you have 3 lily pads, right? Imagine. Now from this lily pad, I can actually pivot and talk to 300 people, right? I can also walk and talk. I freeze right here, address everyone, talk to 300 people from this place. But then also, don't forget about this side of the room, you know, if it's a bigger audience. So walk and talk, and don't stay more in the center, but use all angles of the stage triangle. Now, second tip, and we got 15 of these. I'm only going to share about 2 or 3 right now. Second tip is called the voice triangle, okay? There's 3 voices to speak in. There's the high voice, the medium voice, and the low voice, right? When you're doing a seminar, you want to kind of modulate that vocal variety in the voice triangle. The voice of, like the preacher voice, the team leader, that's the high voice, you know? Today I'm going to inspire you. I'm going to show you some concepts. It's going to blow your mind. That's going to be your high voice, right? But then also, you know, you're going to tone it down to the medium, more conversational, more, you know, more instructional. But then have you ever noticed how maybe someone burned you? And you're like, man, we've been best friends since 13. How could you do this to me? What happens to your voice? It goes down, right? So you want to talk in the voice triangle. You want to move in the stage triangle. Make good sense?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to be giving these tips along the way.
Hello everyone, my name's Greg Patterson, and I travel around the country and I do training, I do webinars, I do online training. Now the area I do this training in is quite unique. It's safety training. And everyone says we don't care so much about safety until we're not safe, correct?
Right.
But I can tell you, I've visited hundreds of places, and I can tell you 5 or 6 myths about safety. So as I go through today, I know you have to be here because this is a requirement from regulatory agencies. But I want this to be fun, okay? So the first thing I want to do is say, okay, we're here to increase production through safety. Now everyone tells me, you can't increase production and apply more safety and structure. Now Donald Trump would tell you it's impossible to do, but I can tell you that's incorrect because I see it every day. There's a company that has 170,000 employees called Turner Construction, the largest construction company in the world. They've not had one death on any facility or site in over 3 years. No company's done that in the construction industry. They apply what's called lean safety. One of the first secrets of safety is lean safety. I can train you and teach you to do that, but we're in this course today to meet the regulatory requirements, and that's an add-on. So if you want me to come back, I will certainly come back and train you in that area. I do training in safety, environmental, EPA, OSHA, and I do DOT training. Not only that, I do online, I do webinars. Okay? The webinars are easier for me to do in the sense that I get to stay home like Ariel. I don't have to get on a plane. But here's the problem, folks. Webinars are tougher to do because you can't engage the attendees nearly as well. Right. And here's the other thing. I train hundreds of people in Puerto Rico right now that work for FEMA, and they all speak Spanish. I don't speak a word of Spanish. So what I've done is I have adapted, and I've got an interpreter. So because FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers, that FEMA follows their safety requirements, I have to do it in English first, and then I have someone that's Spanish that speaks and applies that. So the second secret to safety is this. Everyone has to be fully responsible for their safety, for themselves and others. and every company has to operate and develop a near-miss program. Well, why near-miss? Well, here's the reason. If you have an accident, that's kind of a unique outlier, right? But for every accident you have, there's 27 near misses. So if you want to learn best practices, how to reduce accidents, are you going to look at that one accident that is one-off that's an outlier? Or are you going to look at 27 potential accidents? It's a no-brainer. Now here's the problem, folks. I've given you 2 of the secrets. You got to bring me back, and I'll give you the other 3. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
You know, you guys are owning the spotlight, which I like. I'm always going to give a couple tips, right? Because we want to go from good to better to what? Best, right? So a couple tips would be, now we're going to talk about CP. This stands for California Pizza. No, it stands for crowd participation, right? So we're going to talk about crowd participation and how to create a two-way dialogue with the audience, right? So again, my 2 speakers so far this morning, great job. I'm just going to give you guys a couple little nuances. Everybody go like this. Say small hinges, swing big doors.
Swing big doors.
All right, so let's talk about CP, crowd participation. The first one is, everybody go like this. Say, questions hook the mind. Questions hook the mind. Constantly ask questions of the audience. So I'm originally from Romania. Anybody here from Romania? Right? Constantly ask questions. How many of you guys follow? Everybody with me? We're all on the same page, right? So you're constantly asking what? Questions, right? That's one way to create that two-way dialogue. Another way, everybody go like this. Say, fill in the blank, right? Start a sentence and don't finish it. Shut up, let the audience finish it for you. Example, 85% of success is just one thing. It's just showing up. Thank you, right? I start a sentence and then I let someone finish it. And it doesn't matter what the answer is. They're like, yeah, that's good. And then you kind of fill in your own answer, right? So far, are you guys with me?
Yes.
All right, cool. So we talked about that. Also, get the audience to move in their chair. Get them to what?
Move in their chair.
How do you do that? Everybody, put your hand on your heart. Say, I promise to create a movement.
To create a movement.
Right? What did you do? You put your hand on your heart. You moved, right? You physically moved. Turn to your neighbor, give him a high five. Say, you're in the right room this morning.
Oh.
No, I'm showing you how to get them to move. Did you guys move?
Yeah.
You moved, right? You moved in your chair, right? You could get them to do a stand up for a declaration. You know, you could give me 3 claps if that makes sense. You know, whatever it is, but just get them to what?
Move.
And that was an example of what? Fill in the
Blank.
All right, I think you guys are with me. Very good. All right, so who would like to be our next participant? This could be your big moment right here this morning. What I'm about to show you guys next is the kinds of audience that we have on our list. You just never know, but I'll tell you guys, I got a lot of high-profile people on my list, and you never know who's going to watch this video. So this could be your moment. Who else wants to give this a try? Come up here, just practice your intro, just like we did so far. There's nothing to it. If that's you, just, okay, we got...
Okay, so let me introduce myself. My name is Tamika Siobhan Dean. I like to go by Siobhan, which is my middle name. I am actually from Columbus, Ohio. Technically, I'm from Pennsylvania, and I transitioned from Pennsylvania to Columbus, Ohio for work. My background is strongly in healthcare. And then I just happened to have an opportunity to come down here briefly, just for this weekend, to be quite honest with you, to sing, okay? Someone had requested for me to come down and participate in one of their events that took place on yesterday. And so
The pebble in your shoe
let me
is telling you stage triangle.
Stage triangle. Okay. So in any case,
Good.
So
good,
part
good,
of
good,
the so I came down here and in preparation of coming down, I knew I had Saturday kind of open and free. So I kind of looked up what was going on down here in Atlanta, and happened to come across this wonderful seminar. So here I am today. But I'm going to share a little bit about why I'm kind of like the reason why I'm here as far as singing and all that good stuff. I currently have an organization that's called Helping Voices, and how it started was. I went to Australia in 2008 or 8, and I had the opportunity to, it was like a missions type of thing, and I had the opportunity to learn more about human trafficking and sexual abuse and those, I mean, crazy things that's really, really unfortunate for those individuals that experience those types of events. And I also, during that, right before that time, I had the experience of being a part of an organization called AMTC, which is acting, you know, acting, model, and talent for Christ. And so they wanted me to go down to Florida and do some events and things of that nature, kind of sing and do things like that. But I really felt one day when I was walking my four-legged son, Tico, that I wasn't supposed to go in that direction. Instead of going into that direction, I felt like I was supposed to take the skills, the talents that God has provided to me, which I believe, you know, and marry that up with my own experience of being violated, you know, and then also learning more about this human trafficking that's taking place over in Australia. But believe it or not, it's not only taking place here, over there in Australia and different places outside of this country, but it's actually taking place a lot in here in this country here. And in Columbus, Ohio, it's huge too. I mean, very huge. And people don't even realize it. So I started doing more and more singing, being asked to do different events and things of that nature. And so, and my background is in healthcare. So what I've done is I started this organization that provides music to other organizations to help raise awareness, funds, and also wellness training for the individuals as well as the special events that we go to sing and create this awareness. And so it's just now kind of starting to really kind of take off and move forward.
Yeah, so, you know, people ask me sometimes, you know, what do I do if I keep saying or ahs? Mm-hmm. What rhymes with ahs? Pause, right? So just freeze, be quiet, right? If you have a thought and you're like, okay, it's racing and then I forget what I'm gonna say, I draw a blank, just be quiet. Because the audience looks at that as like very, dramatic pause. You're just like, oh my God, I'm having a brain, collapse here, right? So that's one way to slow down. Another way to slow down is to punch your words. Punch your words, right? So, I could talk about, this is the way that I'm gonna teach you how to punch your words. I'm gonna tell you, you gotta punch them. Or I could say, this is the way that I'm going to teach you how to punch your words. So there's an emphasis, right, on words, and you're slowing down the pace, right, and the rate at which you speak, and we just call that punch your words. So you're not just kind of going right over them. So there's a whole bunch of techniques, guys, and inside our 90-day boot camp, we go in depth into all of this. I don't think there's anyone more obsessed about helping his students become level 10 speakers. And honestly, guys, a lot of my team, they're better than me. English is my second language, and they're funny. They got all these assets as a speaker. But the one thing that they sign up for is not just the speaking skills, which they're gonna get, but also is how do I monetize it? How can I do this? How can I turn this into a 6-figure business? Again, we're not making any guarantees. What I can tell you is I have amazing success stories. So what I'd like to do...
I have a question. I repeated myself like over and over and over again. It sounded like it.
So a little bit, but not so much. But here's the thing: you are not. If you follow this right here, opening leg, preview. We're gonna talk about X, Y, Z. But before we do that, would it be okay if I just tell you about myself and why this is important to me? You go into your challenges. You go into your credibility.
Okay.
Right? And
Because I was kind
you
of like
kinda-
all over the place.
That's okay. It's brand new.
Okay.
You know? this is like improv for you guys, right?
Very.
So, but believe me, this stuff works really, really good. So what I want to do right now, guys, is I want to give you guys a free gift. This is not related to anything about public speaking, and then this is the only part that you're going to hear me talk about this. If you decide you want to do our advanced training, that's not my role to do this for you guys, but I'm going to share this with you because it's part of our personality development training that I used to do. So basically, I believe that your personality is the sum total of all of you, right? All of your life, basically. And Napoleon Hill, in this book, Think and Grow Rich, he talks about the 6 human fears, right? And so years ago, I asked myself, what's the antithesis to the 6 human fears? And I came up with the 6 human freedoms, okay? And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna share with you my 6 human freedom statements, and then, you know, what I want you to do also is to kind of think about, okay, how can I put a freedom statement for my life, whatever makes sense to me. So, first of all, everybody go like this, say my mental freedom.
My mental freedom.
My mental freedom statement is when your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, they're traveling in the same direction. There's no story that's pulling you down. How many people understand we have a story that's governing us?
Right.
A belief system, right? Mental freedom. Now everybody say this, say my social freedom. Go ahead and do like this, so you remember it. My social
My
freedom.
social freedom.
My social freedom statement is having the ability to be your social self in front of one person and 1,000 people. That person, that baseline confidence should not change. You should be you in front of everybody. That's how you were born. Everybody go like this, say my physical freedom.
My physical freedom.
Okay, so my physical freedom statement is to be able to, first of all, to be in control of what I believe are mankind's biggest tempters. Now again, these are my statements, right? You have your own. What I believe are mankind's biggest tempters are food and alcohol, and to be able to be in control of those, right? And then also to be able to incorporate a workout program that makes sense for you into your life. Okay, so that's, again, that's my freedom statement for physical. Now everybody go like this, say my relational freedom. You can have it all, you can have the funnels, the speaking, the training, all that, it's going great, and then you're coming home to an empty house. Or you're coming home and your relationship is not, you know, where it's supposed to be. So I believe that, you know, your relational freedom is having the ability to attract an ideal romantic partner into your life, and then once that person is into your life, then to grow and nurture that relationship, right? That's my relational freedom statement, right? Now everybody go like this, say my financial freedom.
Financial freedom.
That's right. So here's my financial freedom statement. It's when that thing that you have in your heart, that you're passionate about, you're so crazy about this topic, when you're willing to put it out there into the world, like you package it somehow, guess what? When you do that, that doesn't mean you have financial freedom. A lot of people have websites and brochures, they package it and they put it out into the world. But when people are paying you repeatedly for that thing that you're passionate about, I believe you have already reached financial freedom, because it's only a matter of time before it snowballs. And that's kind of how it has happened for me, for a lot of my students as well, right? And then the last one, everybody go like this, say my spiritual freedom.
My spiritual freedom.
So my spiritual freedom statement is this DVD that I came across during my 20s. It's called The Case for Faith, and it was created by a former atheist who, his name is Lee Strobel. And one day he decided to ask the bigger questions, you know, because life is short, guys. We're nothing but a vapor, right? A glimpse, and then we're all, you know, moved on, right? And it's just the reality of it. Even if you're 100 years old, life is short. Would you guys agree? Yes. Right? So this gentleman right here, Lee Strobel, one day he was working for the Chicago Tribune, and he was an atheist, and he decided to ask the bigger questions. You know, is the Bible true and all this stuff? And he goes on to this like 4-year discovery to disprove the Bible. And throughout this journey, he is no longer an atheist. And this documentary right here chronicles his life story. And it's something that I'm going to give to you as a gift. Now, if it's not for you, again, you won't hear me talk about this throughout the boot camp. We have different religions, different cultures. It's a very nice, diverse type of boot camp. But, I think it's an interesting documentary. So again, if it's for you, take a look at it, bring it home, give it to a friend. Or if it's not for you, leave it on the chair. I'm not offended at all. But that's kind of one of the reasons why I do these small group outreach workshops. Is to kind of take one and pass it around. Okay, so I am going to kind of move on here to, before we actually review that footage, would it be okay, guys, would it be okay if I just spend the next couple minutes telling you guys about a resource that I've prepared just for you? It's something called our Elite Transformation Program. It's our 90-day bootcamp that I've been kind of hinting about. So guys, would it be okay? Do I have your permission to spend just the next couple minutes telling you a little bit about that? Yes?
Yes.
All right, very good. And I think we had a quick...
We just need one more.
Ah, perfect. No problem.
Thank you.
No problem. Okay, so here's where this is going to get really, really good, guys. I told you I saved the best for last. I wasn't kidding. You're going to see the things we're doing to actually market this stuff right here is actually on the cutting edge. Nobody else is doing this. I've invented a lot of this stuff that I'm doing to the social media. It's not what you're thinking. It's not what you've seen. So here we go. So we're going to actually kind of move on here. So the program itself, it's starting on March 24th. It goes all the way to June 30th. And it's happening right here in this building. Now we have multiple different rooms. We got multiple backdrops, different kinds of, drapes and lights and, a whole bunch of really cool stuff that you're not seeing here this morning. A lot of equipment and really, really awesome stuff. The hours are from 1 p.m. to 2:30 is Class A. And then from 2:30 to 4 is Class B. So we got 2 classes. So it's a 3-hour intensive, but it's broken up into 2 90-minute live classes with me. Every single class, I'm the conductor, I'm the facilitator. So let's kind of take a look here. You're going to get 24 live talks inside our boot camp, because what we want to do is we want to create an opportunity where you're going to come in, you're going to give one time you're going to do a keynote, one time you may practice your webinar, one time you may practice like a seminar. One time you may practice like a meeting that you do at work. There's custom talks. One time you may practice a 5-minute talk that you give at the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe a 20-minute talk that you give at a Rotary Club, etc., etc. Or maybe like a whole, 45-minute presentation that you would do at a conference. You got to practice all that. And so we're going to not only practice it, but we're going to videotape that talk for you. And then what's really, really awesome is that I've actually decided that I'm going to do some of that video editing for you as well. I've never offered this before, by the way. But what I found is that sometimes people have great footage of themselves in action, and then they just get lost on the video editing part. So I thought, you know what, I can serve my community in this way as well. So I'm going to actually edit at no additional charge, which takes a long time. You got to watch a lot of footage. But again, I'm running my business right now with 1 day a week. I have a lot of free time. I don't have kids right now. So again, you guys are kind of like my business family. So 24 live talks in front of a real audience. It's not what you're seeing here today. Today again, I'm trying to keep it like a 5 Alive to give you guys practice time. And even with this time, I still didn't get a chance to give everyone practice time. And that's kind of my goal. But maybe we'll practice in boot camp for some of you guys that didn't get a chance to come up here today. So storytelling secrets, that's a $497 value. One of the secrets of all millionaires that I know is their ability to tell an effective 30-second, 60-second, 2-minute story, to do like a business story, how to open it, how to close it, how to actually have a point to it that persuades. Would you guys want to actually learn that skill? Absolutely, right? Again, one of the secrets of all millionaires that I know. Impromptu skills. What about if you get called and you have to do a presentation and you had no idea that you're about to do a presentation? So-and-so would like to come up and tell us about their mission trip. Oh, really? I didn't know that. guess. Well, you gotta think fast. I'm gonna show you guys a proven formula that is gonna allow you to be able to always have words that make sense, right? So you're not just kind of talking in circles, but it actually makes sense. Again, you'll be a great storyteller. This boot camp is also designed to make you a more social person. Some of you guys will have more friends, maybe even in the boot camp and outside the boot camp, because the whole thing is designed to create a personality change to make you, if you're not, extroverted, you'll be able to, with the tap of a button, always go into that side of your personality that's extroverted. And that's very, very valuable, guys. I gotta tell you, in business, if you don't talk, you don't get fed. So you have to have that push of a button, extroverted style. It'll increase the likelihood of a promotion. We're not making guarantees, but all I can tell you is based on my experiences, I've helped quite a few people get promoted while they're inside the boot camp. The resources that we have, the team, the networks, we do have a couple of multi-millionaires inside our programs, and there's a lot of different opportunities. So again, I'm not promising, but at the same time, I'd do you a disservice if I didn't tell you that there's a real opportunity inside the boot camp. Of course, it'll help you ace the job interview. If you give a 7-person panel interview after you've presented, for 90 days in front of a real audience with all these cameras and pressure and these backdrops and outfits and all this really cool stuff, you're gonna be like, an interview is like a walk in the park. A one-on-one sales consultation becomes a walk in the park. Your demonstrations, your presentations, all of that will be enhanced as a result of this boot camp. For some of you guys, you're single, it'll improve your dating skills, just having that attractive, confident self. Would you guys agree that confidence sells in the business and the personal world, right? So it truly does. You'll be ready to speak at, organizations, at your church maybe, wherever you're always, maybe you look at certain opportunities, you're like, they keep passing you by, and you're like, man, instead of me putting this in the inbox of my email for next year I'm gonna try to speak at this event, I should be one of the speakers when these opportunities come around. I should reach out to the meeting planner or the event organizer and ask to be the speaker, but it's just, I'm not ready yet. So that's all gonna be gone. You will be ready. You'll have a talk that sells. You'll have the words, the confidence that comes with having a talk that's ready, because you have practiced it so many times in front of the group and in front of the camera. And what's really cool is that we actually review some of that footage right on the silver screen. What we do is we turn off the lights, and then there you are. Of course, we turn off all those other lights, and then you're seeing yourself right there. We make this into a video screen, and it's pretty cool. It's a little better than just a flat screen TV, and you're seeing your nuances, how you present. It's a very introspective look at yourself that you've probably never done yourself before. So if you go to network events, you'll stand out. You'll always be the observed instead of observing. So that's actually a very good skill to have. And then some of you guys, you have big families, Thanksgiving parties, Christmas parties, but you just kind of feel like, I'm not my best self. Like, I have more stories, but it's just weird because whenever I start a story and I feel like all eyes are on me, I kind of feel like I rush through my words and I just don't like the attention. Well, in this class, once you graduate, you're gonna love the attention.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. Now, some of you guys are thinking, Ariel, you don't know me. Well, I've already told you. I tried to speak at Meadow Creek High School on the country of Colombia. I couldn't say a word. I guarantee you, no one in this room has more social problems than I had. No one is more, introverted than I used to be. So trust me, guys. Everything I'm telling you and showing you is from real experience, and you're gonna love the attention and all the benefits that comes with it. Okay, so you'll be good on camera every single time. Some of you guys, you have a business or you have an idea for a business, or maybe at your job, there's opportunities to present on video. Well, guess what, guys? You're not just gonna do talks in front of, the audience, but there's times when the camera will be this close to you. There's times when it'll be like over here. I mean, there's ways that we put that social pressure on you so that we train really hard, so that when we get into war, The training was more real than the actual war itself. You guys know what I'm talking about? That's the kind of training we do over here. We go real in depth. You can get on TV after this. A lot of my students, they present on TV. If I tell you their names, you probably know them. CNN, ABC, I got tons of like superstars actually that went through my program, and they took advantage of it, and their business really grew because of that. So you can get on the radio, right? Just using the voice triangle, being able to kind of manipulate your voice, you'll be able to attract listeners, but then also you got to know how to make an offer, okay? And you're not going to go a direct sale offer on a podcast, right? But maybe you want more dedicated appointments, one-on-one appointments in your office or at your practice. So we're going to show you how to make an offer to create a qualified free session for the listeners to actually take that next action with you. That could lead to a big contract. We've had people make really nice contracts, even $60,000 contracts using these techniques that we practice inside the boot camp. In addition to the 24 live 90-minute classes, again, they're all facilitated by me, I'm going to actually show you guys all the secrets that I know on how to market your business, your brand, your products, your services through workshops and seminars. Again, I have a small group workshop because I try to give you guys practice. But believe me, there's times when I'm speaking to hundreds of people, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get on stage at conferences, associations, galas, conventions, things of that nature. You'll be one of the speakers. You guys know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm going to show you guys how to actually make an offer from the stage without being salesy or pushy, right? Because nobody likes to get sold to. But again, we said it earlier, in business, sales cures all problems. You got to get real with that, because if you're like, well, I don't want to sell, or I don't want to get good at selling, well, guess what? The technology and what's happening in the world right now, if you don't master this part, you're going to become a dinosaur. You have to get good at selling, but again, you have to have a strategic way to do it so that it incorporates how people buy. Not how you sell, but how people buy in 2018. You guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, cool. So we're going to show you guys, today I just showed you guys a little bit of the actual intro of your talk. I'm going to show you guys how to actually persuade the audience to take that next action with the squares of persuasion. Today we just looked at circles of information. We're also going to go deep into the squares of persuasion. Not only am I going to teach you this, but I'm going to help you customize a talk from start to finish that you're going to be able to use at different venues so that you can promote your business and you have a very clean strategy and always leads to some kind of a net result. Right? You guys with me so far? Mm-hmm. All right, cool. So some of you guys, you're business owners, some of you guys are motivational speakers. If you're watching this video, perhaps, after we do the replay, some of you guys are going to want to give paid keynotes. I'm going to show you guys a list of over 100 places that have booked speakers and paid them a speaker's fee. So there's places you can speak for free. We call that free to fee because the fee comes in the back end when you're setting up all these, consultations and qualified free sessions when you make a really great offer from the stage. But there's also, times when you're going to get the actual fee up front from the meeting planner. Mm-hmm. You guys know what I'm talking about? Right. Cool. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how to get at the conferences. Again, I got a list of about 100 places that are nothing but conferences and places that are accessible. Like, you don't have to be a celebrity star on YouTube. You don't have to be Gary Vee or Grant Cardone or Les Brown to actually get these gigs. They're real life gigs. Now I'll show you guys, based on time, I'm going to pull up some videos and kind of go behind the scenes here, show you guys, some of the places that our speakers have spoke at. It's just really awesome stuff. Hundreds of people. They did it with the videos created from this class. So how to build proven funnels I know this is getting a super advanced now, right? But remember, this is 90 days. It's not a 3-day program that we put together. It's a 90-day intensive. The reason I did this on Saturdays is because I know a lot of you have a business or a full-time job. It's going to interfere if we do too many training days throughout the week. So I didn't want to interfere. I said, let me just put this on a Saturday program, and let me also make it from 1 to 4 p.m. because some of you guys also, you do soccer, you got kids, there's things, you want to work out, you have CrossFit in the morning. So I said, and then also break it up into 2 90-minute classes. That way they'll be able to kind of attend a lot of the classes. So we're going to talk about how to actually make funnels for your business. Guys, if you're not implementing automated webinars, and I'm not talking about just creating a webinar and putting it on YouTube or inviting people, doing like a GoToWebinar and inviting people to your webinar. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a funnel. They come in, there's a reason they're coming in, and now they're a part of your ecosystem. And it's designed, the whole funnel is designed to invite the right people to take the next action with your business. Hugely profitable. I'm going to show you guys the funnels that are being used today. Some of you guys are really curious about how a lot of speakers are using Facebook ads. So I'm going to give you guys the Facebook Advantage system. And this right here is really, really awesome. I spent $1,000 on a campaign. Just to give you an example, I have several campaigns. Just recently, I spent $1,000 on a campaign. It brought back $7,500. How many people would love to have those kind of returns? Right? You put $1 in, you get $7 back. All day long, right? So again, I didn't want to scale that too much, and the reason is not everything I'm doing is about money. If I make these classes too full, I can't serve everyone because there's a lot of hands-on coaching, a lot of customization for your business, so again, I don't want to make even these boot camps. Usually we cap it off at about 25 participants because if it gets too big, then you get lost in the crowd, and I don't want that. So now I have corporate things that I do, different levels, but for this particular thing, I'm kind of capping it off at about 25 participants. Now, in addition to the Facebook, I'm going to show you guys some really, really, really cool systems right here. How to use Eventbrite, how to use things like Meetup, how to use LinkedIn, how to use YouTube ads to really upscale your business and attract a targeted audience. Just an example, how many guys have found out about me through either one of these platforms right here? Just raise your hand if it's one of those that you see on that board right there, right? So again, people ask me sometimes, how do I know for sure this will work? Well, you're sitting here in my class. There's no proof like real life. This is, you found me through one of these, so trust me, it works. You know it works, or else you wouldn't be here, right? And of course, how do I get the traffic? Now, some of you guys want to be YouTube superstars. Inside our class, you're going to have 50 YouTube videos created of you. How cool is that? You can start putting that on your landing pages everywhere. Different videos, different backdrops, different rooms, just a whole lot of, really cool stuff. Some of you guys, and you're thinking, man, can I do some of those videos myself? It's not the same. The pressure, the coaching, the hands-on, we tell you what to say. We give you, even VSLs, video script letters, and a lot of stuff that is just hard to do on your own. How about creating a demo reel? That's another thing that I'm going to do just for the people in this room and for anybody watching this particular webinar replay. I'm actually going to create a demo reel of you in action. Different backdrops, different outfits. Again, we got a whole 90-day to do this. I'm going to take about 3 to 4 minutes of your best you. Like these are my highlight moments right here. I'm going to cut that video and put the special effects on it, and it'll be a finished product. You don't have to pay a video editor, a production company. Now, just so you guys know, we are going to bring a production company here one day on set where they're going to do the photography for you guys, professional photography. I'm not going to do it, like a real photographer. And then also part of the crew that has worked with American Idol and Project Runway, they're going to be here. It's not going to be like today. There's going to be a lot more lights and a lot more cameras and all kinds of funky things that, designed to really, really make it even better, But trust me, just this alone is great already. But we're talking about super special video production. Now, if you were to do this on your own, it'll cost you, easily hundreds, if not even maybe a couple grand to do some of the stuff that we're talking about. So we're trying to create a one-stop shop to give you everything under one umbrella into a comprehensive program. Nobody else in the industry is putting together this kind of program that I put together for you guys. And then we talked about the photography. We talked about, seminars. There's places you can get free venues that have projectors. There's a place in Duluth that has an audience of 150 people. They have a projector, they have chairs, they have everything, and it's totally free. And I'm willing to bet you've never heard about it because they don't advertise. So, there's a lot of connections we have. Been doing this for about 5 years now. I get a lot of emails and a lot of partners. Trust me, guys, my students are using this to save money on venues, save money on photography, on videography, and then also to get the practice. And then the best part is, how do I have real people to talk to? Because we show you how to fill up the room. Again, I want this I still didn't get to everybody. There's a couple people I wish I would have had time to give you all the practice, but if it's too big, it doesn't work. You guys people won't get the practice. So, but trust me, you can fill up the room with a lot of these unlimited traffic systems that we talked about. Help setting up an effective webinar. I'm going to show you guys a really, really awesome webinar that actually sells without being salesy, and it's very, very strategic. It's really, really just stuff that's probably different than the way you're doing it right now. Some of you guys, you're already doing good. We're just going to go from good to greater to best, right? So what else do you guys need, right? Let's say you miss a class. You're going to have all of my videos, my complete video library, the complete speaker online university, totally free. You'll have 12-month access to that. In fact, you know what? Lifetime access. Lifetime access to all the videos, the formulas, how to fill up the room, storytelling, impromptu, etc., etc. You're going to have all that. And then what else do you guys think you need? Because I didn't want anything that was like a question mark in your mind. I wanted this to be like the one university where it's all done. After this, no more need to invest in programs or buy courses. We're going to do it together right here and give you everything that you need. So I racked my brain and said, what else could they need? What else could they need? How about the copywriting? What do I write? How do I get people to my funnel? How do I get them attending my webinars? So you're going to get all of my funnel emails, and I'm going to give you access to those so that you can just kind of, make up your own. Very, very valuable tool. If you were to hire a copywriter right now, we're talking, thousands actually for a really good copywriter. Maybe hundreds for an okay one. So people have used my copy to fill up the room and to the point to where there's no more capacity. Stuff works, guys. I'm going to give you access to it. So again, you're going to have all of this stuff. We're not going to kind of go into this. Now, here's the thing. You may be saying, okay, Ariel, it sounds good. It sounds really, really good, right? But here's the thing. Can you prove it to me? Can you actually, everything you've shown me so far is legit, but I want to really see, can you actually prove it to me? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go through some of this stuff right here. I like to sometimes repeat because people don't, so you're watching the glimpses. I'm not going to talk about it. You're seeing it. No problem. You'll get a follow-up email. You'll get a follow-up email if this is interesting to you, because I know you don't know the pricing. Totally fine.
Okay.
So
Sorry, guys. Thank you.
thank you so much. So I'm going to kind of go through some of this stuff right here. Now the value, you guys can see, this thing is, it's worth a lot. It's a university, right? 16,961. So let's ask a question here. If all this did is it gave you the ability to master public speaking once and for all, do you guys think this program would be worth it? What do you guys think?
Yes.
Absolutely, once and for all. Warren Buffett, he said that the biggest investment he's ever made, and this is coming from the world's greatest investor, was to invest in public speaking skills. He actually went to 2 different universities. He said those diplomas are no longer on my wall, but the one I got from public speaking training. How to share your message to millions. If we can help you to do that and really get your message out there, do you guys think this program would be worth it, guys? Huh? What do you guys think?
Yes.
I mean, absolutely. Yeah, without a doubt. If all this did is help you, some of you guys get lost in the techie stuff, you're seeing a lot of these funnels and ads and all this stuff where you're like, I don't have time to really learn all this. It's a lot of skills, to be honest, to set up all the techie stuff. So if all this did is like kind of remove all the techie stuff and help you to glue all that together, because you bring your laptop to class, it's very, we're all here together, and then we blow up things on the screen, we make it real big and easy to understand. Now you go to this page. Now you click on that button. See right there on the board? Now, so it's very, very, step by step. But you guys think that would be worth it? If you have like no more techie issues and all your stuff is already set up. By the way, for the rest of your life. I got stuff that I did back in 2013. They're still producing income today, right? If this gave you just 2 or 3 more clients per month for your business, if we're talking about high ticket clients, this would totally be worth it. So I kind of had 2 choices when I was pricing this. One option was to go as cheap as possible and get as many people as I can, but again, it kind of dilutes it then. There's too many people. And it also doesn't incentivize me and my team to really give the value to you guys. The second option requires a little bit higher investment on your part, but money is replenishable. The one thing that you can never get back is what? Time, right? So it requires a little bit higher investment, but in exchange for that, you're going to get me and my experts working on your business to get this handled, your whole business set up once and for all, and then you really don't have anything else to do. So let's kind of put this in perspective. What's one client worth to you, right? I don't know your business. Is it 2, 5,000? How much would you pay to just get 1 extra client a month, in addition to what you're already doing, 1 extra client a month? What about 1 per week? So I hope you guys can see that it's not a cost, it's an investment. If you look at this, so I hope you guys can see I didn't just make up some numbers. This is it's almost a $17,000 university. It's totally different than anything else offered on the market. It's not a 3-day program. It's not a 1-day workshop. This is a university that's hands-on. We bring teams that we got to pay money for these guys. They're not free to come over here and do this work for us. We released it for the general public for $10,000. You can see it on my website. It's atlpublicspeaking.com. You'll see the 90-day bootcamp. It's 10 grand. But because you guys have already made the time investment to be here, or if you're watching this particular video right now, I'm actually going to extend this promotion to you as well. And because today is our mentorship outreach day, and I decided years ago, I said, if I ever get to give back in the seminar industry, I'm going to teach this lesson. Napoleon Hill, he says that leaders in all walks of life decide quickly and promptly. That's the major reason that they're leaders. They don't waver to the left, they don't waver to the right. He says that the major weakness of all educational systems is that they don't teach nor encourage the habit of definite decision. It's just not something that is taught, and it's one of the best lessons that you can learn in business. It's not ready, aim, fire. It's fire, get ready, aim. That's how business really works. So today is our mentorship outreach day, and you can get started here today for 4 easy payments of $697. That gives you all of the stuff that I just mentioned, and it was a long list. The traffic, I'm not going to go through it, but you guys know, the practice, the videos, all that stuff. Or for some of you guys that want even a little bit more of a discount, you could do 1 single pay of $19.97 today. So you may have some questions. You may say, but Ariel, what if I don't have a product or service to sell? This sounds pretty good what you're talking about. I'm just kind of at that space right now where I don't have a product. So, the first thing we do inside the class is we're going to help you to package your passion. And some of you guys, you need to diversify. You need to create other programs and products that are higher ticket so you can remain more profitable. You guys know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Sometimes we sell our stuff for too low, right? You're not going to get rich off ebooks. I'll tell you guys right now. So you may say, well, Ariel, what if I don't have the time? Here's the thing. No problem. This is a 90-day boot camp. It's done on Saturdays. You get all the online videos included. But also you can make up the live classes. So after June 30th, if you want to come back to some of the later classes, that's after June because you missed a couple classes due to scheduling or traveling, that's fine. I'm totally okay with that. So, if you don't have the time to make every class, don't worry, you can come back and do the makeup classes. And remember, you get lifetime access to all the video lessons as well. But Ariel, how do I know for sure this will work for me? Now, you can Google me and my company. You can look us up on LinkedIn, on Google, everywhere. You're going to find nothing but raving reviews. People that are being like, wow, this is way better than I expected. Like, I'm talking about crazy results, guys. So I'm not going to go through all this. You can do your own research. I know you guys are smart enough to do your due diligence. So you say, well, Ariel, what if I don't have the money? Like, I want to do this because you're also telling me I can be flexible with my schedule. I don't have to make every class. I can make the classes up. Just for the photography and videography alone, I mean, and the practice. I mean, yeah, I want to do this. Here's the only thing, though. Funds are a little tight right now. Cash flow, you know how it is in business. I do, of course, guys. Remember, for 12 months, I didn't make no income in 2012, right? So I definitely get it. So if you don't have the money, I want you to know that we've removed all barriers, all obstacles, so every person in this room can actually invest into this program. We've actually partnered up with PayPal Credit, and a lot of you guys have seen this already, but basically, it's called OPM. Who knows what that stands for? Other people's money, okay? PayPal, the PayPal bus will come like this. They're going to open the door, and as long as you get approved, they're going to say, come here, let us sponsor this boot camp for you, because you need all this stuff, so come over here, let us pay for it. So basically the way it works is PayPal is going to ask you 2 questions, your birthday and your social. 85% of people that went through this process have gotten approved. Even people that are like, they thought, oh, I don't think I'm going to get approved because of this, this, and this. Most of them actually get approved. PayPal wants to do this for you, of course. So again, 0 interest, 0 payments for 6 months. Our program is 90 days, and it's designed to make you money. And then 6 months is when you pay PayPal like around 20 bucks a month, right? So I think it's a no-brainer if you look at it this way. Now, of course, you could do it to debit card, credit card. You don't have to go the PayPal credit route, but I tell people use other people's money because I'm very confident that there's going to be a significant ROI for you inside this program. So you kind of have 2 choices right now. You're sitting here, you're watching this right now. You could do, number 1, nothing. And guess what? If you do nothing, what usually happens for you? Nothing usually changes, right? Let's be honest, right? It's 100% risk-free. You don't take a gamble. That's what I did at that Tony Robbins seminar. I did nothing. Or you can actually pony up the small investment or sign up to PayPal Credit and actually try it out. Take a leap of faith and just give it a shot. I guarantee you, once you're inside, you're going to be like, man, this is a lot better than I thought. And here's what I'm going to do for the first 3 people. First 3 people that are actually saying, you know what, I think this is for me. You know what, this is different than a lot of stuff out there. I'm really interested now. So for the first 3 people. Now, if that's you, no pressure, but you can already go to atlpublicspeaking.com/bootcamp. You can go there at home as well if you're watching this. atlpublicspeaking.com/bootcamp. For the first 3 people, I can't do this for everybody because it obviously costs us money to do this. So I'm going to build, not me, but our developers, the same ones that build my site. And you're seeing my site right there, guys. And you can, if you want to see it live, go to atlpublicspeaking.com. That's my site. The developers that build this is going to build a website for you. Very nice website. We're not going to use cheesy stuff like Wix or Weebly. I'm talking about a corporate website that's going to give you that image. Just this alone is worth in the entire boot camp. This alone is worth $2,000 easily. Again, we can't do this for everybody, but for the first 3 fast action takers, we're going to build a website for you. You're seeing little glimpses. It's going to be awesome. And for the first 3 people, what I'm also going to do is we're going to help you to write a book. And some of you guys, we talked about earlier, you have a book inside you. Well, it's not things like you're thinking right now, oh, I can go to Fiverr and get a ghostwriter. I'm not talking about stuff like that. There's ways to get a book written and published. I'll show you guys all the secrets of how to do this. I can't do this for everybody because I'm doing this more as like private sessions with the book thing because I don't want to dilute from the program. So again, for the first 3 fast action takers, and if that's you, you're watching this at home, go to atlpublicspeaking.com/bootcamp. Go ahead and enroll. Promise you, you'll never look back. So you say, okay, Ariel, how do I sign up? So very simple. You go to atlpublicspeaking.com/bootcamp. there's buttons there that says full pay or for pay. You decide if you want to do the PayPal credit or you want to do debit or credit card, right? And with that said, guys, what I'm going to do now is, first of all, I'm going to invite you to, remove, or sometimes our mind tries to talk our heart out of something we know we should do. That's what happened for me. I was like, that Tony Robbins thing, I should have done it. I didn't do it. It cost me 10 years of my life. So I want you to stop, remove all that mental talk, okay? Hopefully you can see this is a lot different. And all I want you to do is consider it, okay? And stick around. Meet me right here at the back table. I'm not going to personally go anywhere for the next probably about 45 minutes. I'm going to answer your questions. I'm also going to show you guys, again, some videos behind the scenes, because it's one thing for me to pull up a PowerPoint. It's another thing to show you my Eventbrite, the back of the scenes. You'll see probably you're there like, dang, yeah, that's me. Dang, okay. So, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick around. I'm going to play some stuff in the background, and I'm going to answer your questions. Again, you could get signed up for $0 for PayPal credit. It takes 2 minutes. I'm going to play some case studies, real people that have actually taken the program. They've gotten amazing results through this. And then if you're watching this at home, if you're on the fence, you're like, I think I want to do this, but I just need to kind of talk about some concerns, some questions. What I want to do is I want to invite you to set up a qualified free session with me this weekend. This offer does expire at 12 p.m. Literally tomorrow. It does go back up tomorrow at 12 p.m. But if you're like, you just need to kind of talk about some stuff, again, you'll see the information at the bottom. Reach out to me. We'll set up a qualified free session, not with one of my consultants, but with me directly. And I have such a heart for this particular program because I know the results that it's produced so far. So with that said, guys, if you know this is not for you, it's not for everybody, guys. I'll tell you right now, I'm not offended. I hope you got some value out of this. I truly am happy that you guys showed up. But if this is like you're on the fence and it may be for you, you're kind of considering it, I would invite you to kind of stick around because I'm going to show you some behind the scenes stuff that's pretty amazing. So give yourselves a big round of applause.
Hi, I'm Adrienne Wells Lucas. I'm the president of the Wells Luxury Group, and I joined Atlanta Public Speaking. I found it on a meetup, and I can tell whoever is watching this, it is absolutely amazing. And personally, what it has done for me is continue to help build my confidence. Really focus on your own personal objective. Ariel does that, and he helps you bring out the best in you. I will tell you that he just recently helped me with a project that I'm working on, a speaking engagement, and we worked on it on a Saturday. I made it live on a Sunday, and I sold out on Tuesday, and just 2 days. He's just amazing. I love it. And if you're looking to build your confidence, if you're looking to learn a lot more than just speaking, but some marketing tools, how to focus on your delivery, this is the class for you.
So if you watched this seminar at home and you really got a lot of value out of it, I want you to go ahead and reach out to me, and let's go ahead and set up a consultation. Let's set up a strategy session where we can talk about your business specifically. Again, I showed you some of the stuff on Eventbrite. That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much that I'm going to be able to show you. We could set up like a Google Hangout, and I could literally do a screen share with you, look at some of the things you're doing in your business, and then maybe some of the things that maybe you could do differently. Again, there is no program quite like this. The speaking, the videos, the photography, the website development, the webinar creation, all this really, and I even said I was going to do the video editing for you. There's no coach that's willing to give this much for his students, and then I'll even help you for the first 3 to kind of write your own book and even publish it, so you'll have a real, like a paperback. So just like, I'll show you real quick. This is what a paperback looks like Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. You'll have an ebook version of it as well, and a Kindle version. You can put that on Amazon. This alone, just having a book, is going to open doors for you and hopefully get you a lot more speaking engagements. I'm going to show you exactly how to get consulting clients without having to do any traveling. This is great for any business. I had a lady, she was wondering, we got somebody, that's signed up already, so that's great. So basically, she's in the cleaning industry, and she said, Ariel, I'm gonna sign up for this, but how am I'm gonna give a talk on, the 7 secret strategies of toilet scrubbing. So I said, relax, let's work something that would actually be marketable. And so we've helped her to design a talk about going green and using environmentally safe products to give a talk that's educational. Every time she gives this talk, new clients sign up, corporate offices that want to get their offices cleaned. She knows how to create an offer from these platforms. And we showed her how to do this, and it's working really, really good for her. And again, that's a tough case. Some of you guys, you have really, really even more marketable services, right? So I don't want you to shoot yourself in the foot and talk yourself out of this. You may say, well, I don't have any experience. I'm literally just starting out. We've had people that had 0 experience. And again, I'll be happy to share those videos on a screen share with you through a Google Hangout, show you like real people that have had 0 experience, and now they're making money as a speaker, as a consultant. So trust me, guys, this program will work. You're gonna get so many benefits out of this that, if you were to do it another way, to kind of look at some of the other options out there, you got 6-week online boot camps, you got 3-day programs, nobody gives you all this stuff included, and you get all the hands-on training, and you get the personal support from me. I'm gonna walk with you and be not just a mentor, but an implementer for you, because there's things that you can't do on your own, or you could, but it'll take you a long time. You gotta do a lot of research, the techie stuff, the video editing, just things that I know from experience my students have gotten kind of stuck on. I've just decided for this particular boot camp, I'm gonna roll the red carpet out, and I'm gonna actually give of my time and do some of this stuff for you guys. I've never offered this before. There's a good chance I'll never offer a lot of this stuff again, because it costs me a lot of time to do this. But for this particular boot camp, I decided to just make it an extra special. So again, if you're on the fence, simply reach out to me. You'll see the information down on the video right there. You can go ahead and reach out to me, book a call with me. Let's go ahead and schedule your qualified free session, and I'll answer any of the questions that you may have. If you're skeptical, guys, I know, I was skeptical. I've been burned before with some programs. Trust me, I know what you're going through. I'm going to answer all your questions. I'm going to prove my work to you, and I'm going to literally show you behind the scenes things that I just don't show to everybody, basically. But believe me, any question that you may have, we have an answer for. Any doubt that you may have in your mind, whether this will work for you, I'm going to be very honest and show you how it's going to work for you. So stop spending your time trying to figure it out yourself. Stop going on YouTube trying to watch all these videos. We talked about it in the seminar. More information will not change your circumstances. This is a calling of arms. I'm putting a white flag in the ground saying, look, today is the day where you do something different, a pattern interrupt, just like I did in 2012 when I signed up for that mastermind. It totally changed my business. You need accountability, you need immersion, you need strategy, and you need support just on the techie stuff alone, because what you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know how to optimize an Eventbrite page, that's just something you don't know. So you can try to do all this stuff yourself, or come to a program that is going to give you proven results. Again, don't let your mind talk your heart out of something you know you should do. Tomorrow is promised to no man. So go ahead and go to atlpublicspeaking.com/bootcamp. Sign up before the deadline, before this expires at noon tomorrow, and I'll see you on our campus.
The most invaluable thing was actually jumping in and trying to get myself a little bit uncomfortable, and learning to watch my confidence grow by doing that, and on top of that, stacking different skills. And Ariel has definitely helped me do that and achieve that. I've only been to 5 classes, and I can say it's definitely made an improvement in my presentation and also my conversational skills. So come on down and stack your skills up.